Well, it's typical that when we think of an archive, we think of a dusty document with difficult handwriting that might be crusty and old and even covered with a seal wax. And you know, there are certainly heaps of those kind of archives around, but it's a mistake to think that archives are only written records or paper documents. Now, in the paper range, we have letters, government documents, shipping records, newspapers, photographs, films. We even have sound bites. We have all these sort of things that you could say constitute particular types of archives. There are both official and unofficial types of archives. They might be within an institution, or they might be sitting under your grandma's bed right now. But as well as that, we have this thing called Realia. It's a word that's specific to archives. So it's a fancy kind of word. What does Realia really mean? It's really just a fancy way of archives talking about archives that are objects. So, because if you imagine an archival collection that belongs to an organisation, a community, let's say the Australian Gay and Lesbian Archives, a very, very special and comprehensive archive collection. Now, in that archive collection, they have banners, badges, things that talk about their activist traditions. And they might have buttons, they might have a bike that someone famous used to use to ride to an activist group. They might have all sorts of objects. Those objects are Realia. Now, in of themselves, they might not be that significant, but they hold particular meaning for the people who own that archive collection. So Realia is basically an object that serves as a kind of portal into the past. So here's an important thing to think about with archives. On one level, an archive, particularly a paper record archive, is often the only one left. It's the only one of its kind, and that means that it's very precious and it needs preserving and collecting. Imagine, for example, the ship logs of Lieutenant James Cook when he was travelling around Australia. Imagine the convict records of your great-great-grandfather or grandmother. They are probably one-offs. There's no other record of them, and so they need to be kept in careful rooms and that sort of stuff. And then imagine on the other side, Realia, which are about objects. Now, there might be many of those objects, but the community, the group, the archival collection have decided that these ones are the ones that they're going to preserve as something that represents their past. Now, all of these archives are like portals into the past for us historians. We see them and we use them to take us back in time, to actually almost smell and touch and feel that moment. And they're incredibly significant. They hold secrets and clues to the way we understand the past.